Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Laura and I am a huge gift wrapping enthusiast. For me, one of my favorite parts of the holiday season is seeing the faces of my friends and family just light up whenever I give them a huge pile of perfectly wrapped presents. So stay tuned while I show you some tips and tricks on how to wrap those presents, but also some clever ways on how to make your gifts visually stand out. First, let's start with your supplies. Before you begin, make sure you have all of your wrapping supplies to go so they're easily accessible. Generally, what you'll need is your selection of wrapping paper, a selection of gift bags or boxes, tissue, your scissors, lots of tape, and then anything you'd like to have for decorating. So something like bows, ribbon, picks, anything of that nature. There's also tons of tools out there that are really great for making gift wrapping a lot easier. So something like a tape dispenser, a ribbon or a wrapping paper cutter. And then you can also get clasps that hold your wrapping paper onto the table. Personally, I prefer to wrap most of my presents all at once, so I make sure I have multiple rolls of wrapping paper, my choice of decorations, and an assortment of bags in assorted sizes, and lots of tape. There's nothing worse than wrapping when you get halfway through wrapping a gift and then you run out of tape. All right, now that we have our supplies and our gifts, make sure your area is clean and ready, and then let's get wrapping. Start with your wrapping paper. This is a standard size roll of wrapping paper I got from Target. Get yours at wherever you like. Take your gift and flip it upside down, and then measure your paper. Now, one key point is to make sure you're measuring your wrapping paper very carefully, and go ahead and measure it twice, just to make sure that you're not going to have any open spots on your wrapping paper. Once it's measured, take your scissors or your handy ribbon cutting tool and just give it a cut. I like getting the wrapping paper with the grid marks on it just because it makes it easier to cut. Once you have the bulk of your wrapping paper measured, you want to cut off the sides. Again, I like using the grid. That way you can make sure the sides are even. Then you're just going to cut off that side. If you have a large chunk of leftover wrapping paper from measuring down your gifts, make sure to hold on to those. These pieces are really great sizes for stocking stuffers, smaller gifts, gift cards, or if you happen to measure your gift incorrectly, you can cut a little piece of this off and then tape it to the bottom. That way you don't have any white parts sticking out, and then no one will know that you measured your gift wrapping incorrectly. Next, you're going to center your gift as much as possible. Make sure it's even on both sides, and then just give it a tape. One of my helpful hints is to make sure the sides of your wrapping paper are clean and crisp. So flatten them down as much as possible. This will give the overall look of your gift a cleaner look and look more professional. I also don't live by the 3 pieces of tape only rule. It's your tape, you bought it, use as much or as little as you like. But if you're using multiple pieces, keep them as uniform as possible. So try to use the same size and use them in the same direction. This will create an overall cleaner and sleeker look. Next, we're going to do the sides. If you have too much, you can cut some off, but otherwise you're going to push this part down. Again, we're creating really sleek, crisp edges. Again, use as much tape as you like. I like to use a little bit as I go, just to make sure things lay flat. Fold these edges in, or if you want to do the push-in method, that's good too. Again, really crisp up those sides. Push that tape down so it's not as easy to see. Tape generally in the same spot, and then you're going to take your little flap and just pull it up. Now, if you have some white sticking out from under your wrapping paper, you can cut that off, or you can kind of fold it under. You don't want any of this little wrapping from underneath sticking out, because that's going to create more of an uneven look. So I just kind of tuck it in here. So as I lift it up, you're not able to see that, creating an overall cleaner look. If you don't like the point, you can always fold it under or cut this little part off for a nice parallel line. And then you just do the same to the other side. And there you have a beautiful wrapped gift. Now that you have a beautifully wrapped gift, all it needs is some decorations. Now when it comes to decorations, your possibilities are endless. There's twine, thick ribbon, skinny ribbon, big bows, small bows, no bows, drawings. I mean, the possibilities really go on and on. What I like to do as I'm shopping is I'll pick a general theme I want and I'll stick with it. So pick out what wrapping paper you like and then find accents that go along with it. If you want rustic, stick with a twine and a pine cone accent. If you want something fun and festive, you can do red wrapping paper with candy cane accents. So now that you have your gift, choose what ribbon you'd like. This one I'm going to do a thick satin ribbon. Start at the bottom and decide if you're going to do a crisscross, a cross, a double across, whatever feels comfortable with you. Give yourself lots of slack to work with. Because this one has lettering on it, I'm just going to do one that's parallel with the lettering. Again, that's going to give me a cleaner and sleeker look. For this one, I might do a double wrap around, something just a little different. Again, make sure you have lots of excess. And then give yourself a nice cut. You want extra ribbon because we're going to do a bow. Make sure all of your ribbon is laying flat, no kinks in it. I'm just going to separate these sides a little bit. Give it a nice pull, and then flip one of these sides under. If you have someone who wants to help, they can always give you a finger to help make your ribbon nice and tight, and pull. Now, if you want, you can stop here and just give a nice cut on the ribbon, or we can make a nice bow. Once you have your bow, take both ends, just give a little pull and a little fluff. Make sure it's tight so that your bow is nice and vibrant. Make sure it's poofing out a little bit. Make sure if you have shiny ribbon, the shiny part is out. If you need to, you can always pull a little bit down. Now, if you want, you can move your bow, move it up, move it down. If you like, you can take your tape and just do a little secure on the back just to keep your ribbon from sliding up and down. So our bow looks pretty good, but what we want to do is just make it uniform with each other. So take your scissors and you're going to cut this ribbon, but what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in an angle so that way they match each other. I like to do my angles down. Make sure the other side matches. Here, if you cut it a little uneven, you can always pull one side down. There you have a perfectly wrapped gift. All right, now that we have a bunch of these little scraps of paper left over from wrapping our gifts, let's go ahead and use one of them. You might be finding yourself buying a lot of gift cards this holiday season. Instead of putting them in just a normal card envelope, let's do something fun with it. So take a scrap of paper and your gift card, and you're gonna wrap this just like you would a normal present at first. Make sure you have enough room to fold over, but we're gonna give ourselves a lot of extra space on the side, so don't trim those down quite yet. So go ahead and fold that over. Put it generally in the center and get a little piece of tape, tape that up. Instead of like folding it over or cutting it off, let's do something clever. Take a piece of string, you're gonna need two, and find the end of the gift card, right about there, and then give yourself a little bit of room. Take your string, actually let's flip it over. Take your string, and you're just going to make a very gentle loop or knot. So nothing too tight that we're going to completely tear the paper, but enough to keep it kind of closed. Try that again. And do the same to the other side. So find about where it ends, and give yourself a little bit of slack. The reason we're not doing it right up against the gift card is then it's going to tear the paper. So we got a little slack, make sure it's generally even with the other side. And pull. Fluff out the ends if you need to. Kind of tuck them under, tuck them out. Then if you want to add a little bow, there you have a holiday gift card cracker. Now what you can do with this is either add it to someone's stocking, or you could give it as a gift as is, or if you have a larger gift for them, you can get some tape, add it to the bottom. Then you have a little faux bow that's also a gift. One of my absolute favorite ways to wrap a gift is to use some sort of pick or accent. You can generally find a large selection of these at Michael's or Target, but really you can use almost anything. You can use fresh herbs like a sprig of rosemary or dried thyme. You can use dried flowers, real candy canes, candy bars, small toys, or even ornaments, like I did here. You can also use things you find around the house, like you can make snowflakes out of cotton swabs or cotton balls and turn them into a snowman. So here I'm just taking my candy cane, I have my ribbon around my gift, and then I'm just going to give this a little tie. You can also tuck it underneath of the ribbon if you'd like. And then from here, I'm just going to take my scissors and then zhoosh up my ribbon. Now when you're curling your ribbon, make sure you're going in the direction of the curl. So you see it's kind of going that way. So that's the direction I want my scissors to go. If you do it on the opposite side of the curl, then you're going to straighten out the ribbon, which isn't going to work out very well for you. Again, take your scissors, hold them gently up against the ribbon, and then take your finger, hold on tight, and pull. Now the tighter you pull, the tighter curl you're going to get. If you'd like, you can take a little extra ribbon, cut a little piece off, and give yourself more of that cute curl. Kind of twist these all together. Fluff them out a little. And there you have another perfect wrapped gift. Now let's talk about gifts that are awkward sizes. Not everything you buy is going to be in a perfect box shape. One option is putting something like a sweater into a box and then you can wrap that. But why go through all that effort when you can use a gift bag? Gift bags are great because they're already decorated. You can buy them in almost any size and they can be saved for years. If you're worried about someone maybe peeking into the gift bag, you can always wrap your gift with some tissue paper and ribbon before putting it inside. Here I have a bottle of wine that I'm just going to take my tissue paper, give it a little wrap, one piece of tape, and then I'm going to take some ribbon and just tie the top. Then as they pull that gift out of the bag, they have something that's wrapped beautifully, and there's no chance of anyone peeking inside of the bag. Give this a little curl. And then put this into your gift bag. Next, you need tissue paper in it. The best way to use tissue paper is to just lay it out flat. Grab the center of it and give it a nice little twist. This is going to be the easiest way to put it inside your gift, but then making sure the tops of it are still really full. Here you have a beautifully wrapped gift. No wrapping paper needed. If you're feeling maybe a little uneasy about using so much wrapping paper or disposable gift bags, there's lots of eco-friendly wrapping options out there. One option is to use cloth gift bags, or you can use something like a stocking or a gift basket. These are great ways to not have to worry about wrapping oddly shaped items, or if you have a bunch of smaller gifts, you can just put them in one vessel, and then your gift really has a pop. You can also use something like eco-friendly wrapping paper, so something like a magazine or a newspaper or like a funny comic. You can use those to wrap your gifts. Here I took a Trader Joe's shopping bag. You just cut off the edges, wrap it like you would any other gift, and then I took a chalk marker to decorate the outside of my gift. If you have kids, you can also give them Sharpies and markers, and they can decorate the gift themselves. You can also wrap your gift using the outside of another gift, and I will show you how to do that now. Another great idea is to wrap your gift using another gift. Things like scarves, knot wraps, and tea towels are all great reusable options to wrap your gifts with. One of my favorite gifting ideas is taking a cute tea towel, wrapping it around a bottle of olive oil, and then tying it with a whisker spatula. Here I have a reusable knot wrap that my friend will be able to put in her hair or use year after year. I have a coffee mug that I have with tissue paper and her favorite candies. And I'm just going to use the knot wrap to wrap up her gift. Pull it all together, tie it with string, add a pick or a bow if you like. And then you have a perfect gift to hand off to your friend that is eco-friendly and cute. One of my personal favorite ways to give someone a gift is with a gift basket. Here I have just an empty basket. You can generally find them at Michael's or almost anywhere. Create some sort of base. I'm gonna start with crinkle paper. You can make your own with newspaper or with paper bags. Or you can buy some at the store. So I have my crinkle paper down first. Now you can stop there if you'd like. I'm gonna add some tissue paper, just because I think this is a really pretty pop of color. I'm going to tuck it maybe into the middle a little bit and then start adding my items. So I'm doing a coffee gift basket for a friend of mine. So I've got my coffee mug, my ground coffee, some syrup, and if I want it to sort of maybe stand a little more upright, I can always take some more crinkle paper or tissue paper and kind of tuck it in the back. I don't mind if they lay down a little bit, so I'll just do a little. Some crinkle tissue paper. And then, of course, a nice bar of chocolate. Then I'm going to take just some candy, sprinkle it around just for some fun color. If you have a cello bag or if you want to package this up more, like dropping it on someone's porch, you can buy clear cello bags from the store. Some of them are even shrinkable. If you buy those, you can use your hair dryer to use the heat of that and go around very slowly and carefully to shrink your cello bag. And then you're able to encase it and tie it with a ribbon. I'm gonna leave mine just as is. So I can either take a ribbon and tie it around my coffee or around the front of the basket or the whole thing if I want. I've got this really pretty bright white bow. So I'm just going to attach that to the front here. There I have a gift basket ready for a friend. Thank you all again for joining me here today. I hope after hearing some of my tips and tricks on how to wrap those pile of presents, it might seem a little less daunting this year. Again, my name is Laura, your gift wrapping enthusiast, and I hope you all have a great day and a great holiday season.